this video is made for educational purposes as a statistical investigation assignment for Education 3625 Numeracy and ICT across the curriculum at Flinders University. In this video, I will illustrate what a capable student could create for the summative assessment task at the conclusion of the investigation for this particular assignment. So, we've got the statistical investigation worksheet. The question that I proposed for this assignment was, do boys have a longer right foot length in centimetres than girls in Year 7? The questions which provide the data needed to complete the investigation are you male or female? And what is the length of your right foot without a shoe to the nearest centimetre? So the data has been collected and organised by asking for a random sample of 25 students from the census at school data. This data was sorted by using the sort button in Excel, where the student's right foot length was organised from the smallest to largest length. So I've created the stem and leaf plots. So this method of displaying data easily shows which range of foot length is most popular, i.e. from the between 20 and 30 centimetres. As data is organised into groups of 10, it is easy to compare the length of the right foot between both sexes. Due to the layout of the table, it is easy to draw conclusions from the data where there isn't much difference between the length of the right foot between the girls at this and boys at this particular age group. So we've got the right foot length of the girls, stem and leaf plot. Then you've got the right length of the boys, and then the right length of the girls and boys together. As you can see, the most popular foot length is between the 20 and 30 centimetres. So then I went on to create a dot plot. Unfortunately, the dot plot does not represent the data as well as some of the other graphs do, for example, the column graph. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So the exact foot length isn't clear and is hard to determine. There is also some overlapping between the dots for the male and female foot length, which I'm circling with my cursor, which does not provide a clear indication of some of the male and female foot lengths. These implications of the graph make it hard to easily understand and make comparisons. So then I went on to create a table. So the table separates the data into different categories, which makes the data easy to read and interpret. Conclusions can be drawn from the results to make comparisons between the male and female foot lengths. However, the table is not as effective as certain graphs, for example, the column graph. Nevertheless, the table sorts the data into a way which it is easily manipulated and the viewer can easily work out the mode, median, mean and range. As you can see, I've sorted the data so that we've got one column for participant, the number, and then we've got the male foot length and then the female foot length. This data is also sorted from the lowest to highest number as well. So then we move on to the double column graph. So the double column graph represents the data of the male and female foot length in Year 7 effectively. This graph allows the viewer to easily identify the two genders used for the foot length data. Each foot is easily identified and does not overlap over one another in contrast to the dot graph. Therefore, conclusions can be easily drawn from the data in which the male foot length in Year 7 is generally larger than female foot lengths in Year 7. However, this difference is minimal. So as you can see, the blue column is for the male foot length and the green column is for the female foot length, and the blue column is slightly larger than pretty much all of the female foot lengths. However, there are some female foot lengths that are slightly larger than the male foot lengths. So then we move on to the sector graph. The sector graph isn't the most suitable graph to represent the individual data of male and female foot length in Year 7. However, it is an excellent tool to use to represent the average male and female foot length in Year 7. The average data is represented clearly and is easy to interpret and draw conclusions from. As shown in the sector graph, the average male foot length is slightly greater than the average foot length for females in Year 7. So you can see here we've got 52% for males and 48% for the females. And then we move on to the analysis step. So this is where I've included all of the data again into a table. I've highlighted the median, mean, and mode to show that I've calculated that in Microsoft Excel. I might just quickly, so this is all my tables in Excel that I've used, and I've used the formula to get this data from Excel. So as we can see, there are 3 different means displayed in the data tables. So to calculate the mean, the formula equals average bracket, select data, bracket, enter can be used in Excel. As stated in the above tables, the means are 24.27273 for the male, 22.85714 for female, and 23.48 for the male and female data. As the foot length in both sexes is quite similar, the mean helps to determine which sex's foot length is longer by average. Then we've got the median. So there are 3 different medians displayed in the data tables, which are right here. To calculate the median, the formula equals median bracket select data bracket enter can be used in Excel. As stated in the above tables, the medians are 24 for male, 23 for female, and then we've got 23 for the male and female as well. Then you've also got your mode. So there are 5 different modes displayed in the data tables. To calculate the mode, the formula equals mode bracket select data bracket enter can be used in Excel. So as stated in the above tables, the modes are 20 for male, 24 for female, and 20, 23, and 24 for the male and female data. While it's using the formula in Excel to determine the mode, the function did not allow for multiple mode numbers, as this data has 20, 23, 24 all at duplicates. The formula only shows the first number displayed in the data table, which is actually 20. So then we also have our range. There are 3 different ranges displayed in the 3 separate data tables. To calculate the range, the formula equals bracket highest number bracket minus bracket lowest number bracket can be used in Excel. As stated in the above tables, the ranges are 10 for male, we've got 14 for female and 14 for the male and female. As these ranges are relatively small, the data can be easily displayed on graphs and does not need to be grouped in order to display the data clearly. Evidently, the range identifies the spread of the data to be small. Then we'll go down to the conclusion. So in conclusion, after analysing and interpreting the data represented in different graphs and tables, boys in Year 7 do generally have a slightly larger foot length centimetres than girls. This is clearly represented in the column graph where the male and female foot lengths are shown through rectangular columns side by side. This method of graphing provides a clear visual representation of the foot lengths next to each other. However, it is important to note that some female foot lengths in the collected data are actually longer than some of the male foot lengths. So this is only a small minority though, and could be related to age or the height of the participant. The sector graph results also support this statement about foot length sizes between boys and girls, showing that male foot length on average is slightly larger than the female foot length for the Year 7 students. So male foot length we've got on average 52%, female average 48%. So looking at the main results of the data further supports the statement of the boys having a larger foot length than girls in Year 7. The male mean foot length calculated to 24.27273 centimetres, while the female foot length calculated to 22.85714 centimetres. Yet again, the female foot length is slightly larger than the female foot length in centimetres. Therefore, results from different methods of displaying data in the most suitable way show that boys have a slightly longer right foot length in centimetres than girls in Year 7. Surprisingly though, the difference is not as large as what was predicted before collecting the data. And that is the end of my video. Thank you for listening.